to paint, and it's going to be absolutely beautiful and stunning. And I'm going to show you why. I'm going to tell you why. Many artists, many professionals, many masters, they kind of turn their nose up and scoff at the idea of using paint straight from the tube right onto the composition. They come up with formulas and ratios and mixtures, which can be overwhelming and daunting to a beginner or a novice. There are many different colours available nowadays, so why don't we use them straight from the tube? I say, let's just do that, okay? I do have a couple of little combos, a bit of brown and black mix, bit of yellow and white mix, but nothing too strenuous. So I'm going to show you the palette now, but before I do, please like the video and subscribe. Okay, let's have a look at the palette. Well, before we get onto the palette of the paints, just a couple of brushes that we're going to be using. We're going to be using a liner brush, okay, for the detail work. A couple of fan brushes, different sizes, okay, and a couple of background brushes. 1 inch I've got there. We may use a 2 inch as we go along, but nothing more than that. Okay, so these are oil paints. I use Winsor & Newton's oil paints, and I've got this one out here because that is a very strange word for the purple, and I don't know how to pronounce it. So there we go. We only need 4 mixtures really in this setup, and I'll take you through those as we get through the paints, but most of the stuff is coming straight out the tube and straight onto the canvas, which is brilliant. Okay, so we've got titanium white, we have got cad yellow, okay, cadmium yellow, and that's cad yellow with a little bit of white thrown in, so it's a pale version of cad yellow. Okay, we have got cad orange there, and we have got cad red, but you could use bright red or permanent red or something along those lines there. Then we've got Prussian blue. Then we have got ivory black, but if you've got midnight black, that's fine. Okay, and then this purple, dioxazine, something like that. I don't know. It's purple. It's a lovely purple anyway. It's a cool purple as well. Then we've got burnt umber, burnt sienna, right? So they're our raw colours. And into the mix, okay, we've got a mix for the clouds, which is over here, which is a little bit of burnt sienna, just a touch. We have got a bit of that purple as well, and that makes a kind of a grey colour. And then we mix that into a titanium white, plenty of titanium white. That's for the cloud mixture, okay. The cloud shadow is just this purple and the red mixed, okay, about 50-50. So that's just a little bit of play there. You don't need to worry too much as long as you've got one light and one dark, okay. And for the cloud highlight, we have got titanium white and a little bit of this yellow as well, okay. Nothing strenuous there. For some of the foreground material, we have got burnt umber into black, okay, and just mix that up. I don't want to really hit it with raw black, okay, so just a little bit of burnt umber will take this thing off things, okay. Palette knife there just to mix the colours, and we're also going to use a little bit of this linseed oil, okay. That's to thin the paint down when we go onto the canvas. I want a nice, vibrant, colourful painting today in this picture, so this is an 18 by 24 inch primed canvas. It's nice and dry. So what I've done is taken a touch of linseed oil and some yellow. This is cad yellow pale, okay, and if you haven't got that, just add a little bit of white to your cad yellow. And I'm just going to be slightly below halfway, and again, this is dry canvas, but I don't really want to dilute the colours with any thinning medium that we put on here. I want the colours to look absolutely, you know, as they are when we squeeze them out of the tube. If we coat this in white paint, we're just going to get lighter and lighter colours the more we mix, and I don't particularly want that unless I'm adding white to the painting, which is exactly what we're going to do. So I'm going to take this colour and go straight across there. You could do this with a big brush or a smaller brush, whatever takes your fancy, but really scrub this in, okay, scrub it in. And we're going to have a sun round about this area here, so I'm just going to grab a touch of the white, okay, touch of the white just in there, and I'm just going to feather that out. Now you might not see that just yet, but it's there. I know it's there, okay. And I'm going to make sure some of this yellow comes down here, because we're going to mix it with a bit of oranges and reds, okay, and it'll just eat this colour up. The reds and the oranges will just eat this colour up quite quickly. We're going to have some nice trees which are glowing in the sunlight, and you know, we May even put a few stars up in the top. Okay, let's get a bit of that orange. Okay, so this is chrome orange. Okay, very strong, and I may need to just dip into my linseed oil there. Now, if you're not using linseed oil or walnut oil or any of the other thinner mediums like that, you could use like your liquid clears or magic clears or whatever they call them nowadays. I just think linseed oil, it's the stuff that the paints are mixed with anyways, is as good a thing as any. Okay, just take it right off there. We're going to use this orange quite a lot, especially when we're painting the trees. I just pushed it in, and we can even blend it together there, nice and freely. Because the colours do blend, oil paints, they use oil on the canvas, actually from the paint itself, they will blend. You won't be in Agony City, okay? So don't be scared of that. Just get in and do it. Okay, now we've got that orange on the canvas. I'm not worried about the top just yet. Okay, we're going to have blues and purples up there, but down here we're going to have a little bit of bright red. And again, let's just touch the canvas first. Yep, you see as it's not spreading thinly enough, a little bit of linseed oil will sort that problem out. Let's grab a bit more of the paint. Don't be stingy on the paint. Okay, and I'm using one of my older brushes because scrubbing the canvas with a nice new paintbrush is not really a good thing to do, because it does wear your brushes out. If you think this is just like sandpaper, really, it's quite coarse. There, get it pushed in, and less paint on the brush, you can blend it together like so. There we go, nice red sky like that. Of course, I'm going to fill this part up, progressively getting a little bit darker. So how we're going to darken the reds off? Well, we could go into a bit of crimson, I suppose, or could just, if we've no crimson, add a tiniest touch of blue. Only a tiniest touch of blue. In fact, I'm going to do that in a minute. As I'm doing that, I'd like you to hit that like button and subscribe if you've not done so already. Okay, we've got the bottom part of the canvas done. All right, nice blended together, no Agony City. Okay, cleaned and dried the brush, odorless paint thinner as always. And I'm going to go into I'm going to start off with a little bit of purple. Now, do not ask me to pronounce what it's called. It's that one if you want to look at it. It's dioxazine or dioxazine. Somebody will tell me. Purple anyway. It's nice purpley colour. And again, just a touch of linseed oil right up to the top. Just a little bit of purple. Okay. Now, it's a very, very, I'd say it's a transparent colour, but if I put it on too thin, the white canvas will show through. And I don't want it to. I'm going to have to mix it with a little bit of something soon. But I just want that purple tone right at the top there. Okay. Now we can go into some Prussian Blue. Okay. And again, just load the brush. Just tap the brush on the palette. Touch on. If it looks a bit too... add a little bit of linseed oil. And just move it about. Okay. Just move it about. Put this layer on first. Blend the two together. Then we can come down. Okay. Nice and easy. It's nothing hard about this painting at all. In fact, anybody can paint this and you'll be stunned at the end results. What I've done is put a tiniest touch of white right where the yellow and the blue mix. Now, very little paint is on the canvas and it is not damp. It's not dripping straight off the canvas. So it is just pure paint with the tiniest amount of linseed oil on. And this is what's important. Take a dry brush, clean and dry, and I'm just going to merge the two colours together. Now, you may get a touch of the turquoise in there. That's not a big deal, is it? Happens in real life. Happens when you look up to the sky in scenes like this. So, as long as it's not bright green, because we all know what a bright green sky indicates, don't we? You know, somebody's done something somewhere. Okay, so, anyway, that is that. So again, just go over the whole thing, tease it all together, and I think we've got our canvas condition. Let's put some clouds up there. So with a fan brush and a little bit of a peachy colour made up by burnt sienna and white and a touch of, I've added a touch of blue into that as well. I'm going to put a cloud, and I'm going to put a cloud up here. Okay, now remember the sun is there, so it's the underside of the cloud that's going to take most of the highlight. Okay, and we're just going to tease in a fluffy cloud. Okay, just throw it in. It shouldn't mix too much because this is a thin layer. It's not thin paint, it's just a thin layer of paint on there. If this is too bright for you anyway, guys, you can actually pale it off with some whiter paint, you know, some paler paints. Anyway, I'm going for this kind of colour today anyway. Something that makes you feel good. All right, so just pull in some clouds just like so, and get them off the canvas like that, and then just tease them in. Okay, and I'm going to have a couple of these kinds, nice and steady clouds. We're going to have a couple of stringier ones like that there, like so. Just wherever they want to be, we'll pop them in, and we'll get a little bit more deeper with the colours further down, say about there as well. Okay, just throw some of these clouds in like so. We'll have something that mirrors this over on the other side, or something about there. Fan brush is good for this because you can turn and twizzle and get all kinds of funky cloudy looking shapes. This looks even nighttime up here, so again we may put a few stars up there as well, like so. A little bit of yellow and white, and there and here where the sun is really zinging on the bottom of these clouds. That's exactly what we'll do. We'll just highlight that a little bit. I think I may darken some of these clouds off as well a touch if I need to, but just a few sparklies just up there like so. Let's see, yeah, just like that. I hope you can see that. And then just hit them with a bit of a blender reaction just to set them into the cloud. Got a bit of a hair there. That happens sometimes, don't worry about it. Okay, like that. Grab the blender again and just tease, just soften them up. Okay, you don't have to go too crazy with the blender reaction, but just soften them somewhat there like that. They'll really pop out. Let's put a few dark spots up there. So back to the brush which has got the darker colours on, and I'm just going to go into that purpley red mixture which I put down here for some of those clouds, and then I'm just going to hit the shadowy side of some of these. I don't want to overkill, but again, it deserves a bit of something, doesn't it? And again, once you've got this in place and you're happy at it, just hit it with the blender, no problemo at all. A few up there as well, just a few of the purples, and this purpley red colour will tie it all together as well, tie the colours together there. In fact, let's just do that. Let's just blend, follow the shape of the cloud, the fluffiness of the cloud like that. Take out all the brush marks. That's what I'm after. The colours stay there. There. Now you could take this composition in any direction you wanted. You know, you could put a sea down there, you could put hills or mountains or anything like that. You could just leave it as it is. I am going to go for the hills. So I've just started with the same colours. Okay, just put a little hill just down here on the bottom. I don't want much, and I don't want it to be too distinct. Okay, it's far away. Okay, and even though it's bright red, it's still far, far away. Okay, it's lit up by this evening sun. Okay, and I'm just going to feather that out till we get almost nothing. Okay, and blend, 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 blend. Okay, maybe it goes off there. Not big, massive hill. This could be Penny Ghent or something like that. I don't know. You know. In fact, let's flatten it off somewhat at the top there, and then it can be Penny Ghent. Yeah, one of the big hills near where I live. Okay, or mountain, should we say? All right. There we go, and then down there like so. A little bit of darker colour, which is not darker colour, it's just thicker paint on the shadow side there, and just tease that into the reds. Okay, it seems very, very odd to paint a painting that's far away with really warm tones, red colours and things like that, which are usually classed as foreground colours, but when they're in the sky and the sky's on fire, you're going to see them everywhere, aren't you? Okay, a little bit more of that darker colour, I think, just there. All right, and we're ready to make a little bit of progress right onto the sides, which requires some black paint. Okay, Van Dyke Brown Midnight Black. Okay, and we're going to put the standard obligatory evergreen tree. Okay, now I'm not going to paint the full evergreen tree, and I'll show you why in a moment. Okay, more on the darker side I'm painting it. Okay, so just pop the tree in straight off the fan brush right the way down to the bottom. Okay, lots and lots of paint, lots and lots of contrast, and that's what I'm after in this picture. Nice warm colours, lots of contrast. Okay, bring it all the way down, all the way down. Less paint on the brush, so reload, and more pressure as we get down here, down here, down here, down here. Right, we could just fill this part up as we wish, but we'll worry about that in a moment. Okay, we want a couple more bits and pieces, I think, just up off the fan brush like so, and then I'm gonna go across to the other side. I may put another evergreen in a moment, but I really want to work on a leaf tree that's going to start somewhere. Let's pop it there. Okay, now I can't see that because I'm almost sideways on, but I hope it's all right. It's tough if it isn't. Okay, so we'll just put in a few spots of leaves, and I'm going to work my way down. In fact, I may come right the way over the sun. Okay, and I'll obviously work on this as I go along. And again, you can, like I said before, you could turn this into a beach scene or something like that. The palm trees would look amazing with this kind of colour, wouldn't it? You know, there we go. So just fill this part up. I'm going to come all the way down here with this, but I want to be in front of the picture as I'm doing that. And then I'm just going to fill all this area in there in this same dark black and brown colour. I'm using the browns in there just to take off any sharpness of the black, keep it all warm and tight together. With the darks all in place now, I went a bit crazy on that side, but I wanted to encase the sun, okay, which is there. I've wiped off much of the dark colour off the fan brush, and I've gone straight into the chrome orange, okay, and this is why I've only painted most of half of the side. Okay, where, if you can see this, I'm just going to hit the side of the tree. Okay, hit the side of the tree with that orange. Okay, and I may need to wipe the brush, and I'm going to blend the orange and the red, sorry, the orange and the black together. Let me grab a lint-free cloth, and it'll give us a nice glow to the tree. Now, you could have painted the orange in first if you wished, but I didn't want to. I want to do it this way, then I can control the amount of dark that I put on, which you can't do anyway. So just go down the whole side of the tree, picking out your leaves, and I will come back in here and I will put some little tiny leaves on with a little bit of a liner brush. Okay, I'm going to get the colour going a little bit darker as we go up, because we're going into the blues there. I don't know if you can see that enough. Just like so. Just blend it back. Put it on, blend it back. Okay. Like so. So again, a bit of the orangey reddy colour. And I'm just going to touch on, in fact, I'm going to go on the underside just there, because that's where the light would be hitting. And we're just going to, again, touch on and blend into the blacks, like so, just to create a little bit of warmth on the end of these leaves. Okay. So again, you may need to wipe your brush. If you need to wipe your brush, do so. Don't just carry on struggling with it. Okay, we'll just put a bit over there like that. Again, it's not thinned out paint, it's just a thin layer of paint, so it should go on relatively okay. There, like that. I may even yellow this off. I'll take a look in a moment and see what it looks like. I may even yellow some of this off, and then we can just put some sticks in, and we're having a good time. Yeah, having a good time. Feel good painting. That's what it's all about. Just a little bit more detail with a liner brush. Just pull out a couple of these orangey looking leaves into the yellow sky, and it's this sort of stuff that will separate your picture from a lot of run-of-the-mill wet on wet pictures. If you just leave it like it was, then that's perfectly good, and nobody's saying it isn't. But if you just add a few extra details, a few extra leaves out here just with a liner brush, then that really sets it off, gives it a little bit of individuality. Okay, so just like so, like that, and a couple down here as well. You won't see much of these, but they're there, aren't they? Like that. Okay, I put a few in, but let's put a few more in. Just some wibbly wobbly tree trunks just coming right off the liner brush, just some sticks and all sorts of stuff that holds this big old tree up. Just a thinned out oil paint, nice and dark. Let's put one, I don't know, I can't really see from where I am, so something there like that. Maybe it's got a little bit of a something up there like that. And when we've got that on the go, I want some grasses down here as well. So I tend to, and it's not always the right way, but if I want the focal point to go towards the sun there, I will guide the grasses in that loose direction. Okay, I'll put some going the other way, but the majority of them go in the same direction. Okay, and when I get to this side, I'll just put some that go straight up and guide your eye into the center, or towards the focal point. There we go, like that. Nice and thin. Keep it nice and thin. Lets it flow nice and easy. And once you've done a couple of stalks, put a couple of seed pods on top. That really sparks it off as well. There we go. A little bit of white, just a touch, and I'm going to put the indication of a few little stars that are just up here in the night sky, well away from the biggest star of them all, which is the sun. Okay, so just a couple like so. And then I think we might have one or two up there, just like that. Then you can flatten them off with your finger, like that, and then they just gives itself a nice little halo, as well as being dampened into the picture. Well, I've got the dark colour on the brush, and I'm going to put my hand there. I think we'll put in a couple of little birds, okay, that are just soaring out here now. I've got to be very careful. Okay, just that way, very little paint on the brush. I think we'll have 3. Hold your breath kind of time. And they've got all they are is little V's, but you can actually do one upside down, an upside down V, which, because the birds wings go flapping down as well as up, don't they? So let's do one of those. Just a few finishy off bits and pieces. I'm using some of this cloud highlight colour on the liner brush just to pull out some real sparkles of highlight on the twigs and the leaves of these two trees. And I think we have got a finished painting. Well, this is very bright. This is sunglasses territory, isn't it? But if you do paint this one, this will sell pretty quickly because of the color combination. If you do this one, share it with us. If you've enjoyed this video, please like the video and subscribe if you haven't done so already. But until next time, take care of yourself, stay safe, happy days.